Yeah, hello, I'm David Blacker, farmer from Chipton in North Yorkshire. I'm currently hosting Strategic Farm North. When I first did the Strategic Farm baselining, one of the big red flags I had was quite a shocking lack of earthworms, but no real understanding of why that was. I've been strip tilling now for probably 12 years, so I'm not disturbing the soil, direct drilling into stubbles, chopping straw. But the thought pattern was, I do have some worms, but they all tend to be juveniles. There's no adults, and I don't really understand why that is, other than is it just bad diet? So we've taken another field and we've undersown some clover in 4 tram lines across it, and we've also put a compost application on half of it, which will leave as a kind of a checkerboard design of some having both and some having nothing. So we're going to see if the addition of an extra food source and more diverse cropping or plant roots, if you like, growing in the field permanently has a beneficial effect on the earthworm populations.
Hi, my name's Bhogal. I'm a soil scientist at AHDAS, and we're working with David Blacker and AHDB at the Strategic Farm North. So in the first year at the Strategic Farm, we did a lot of monitoring of soil conditions, and we found that earthworm numbers on all of David's fields were very low, only between 2 and 7 worms per 20 centimetre cubed pit of soil. And these comprise mainly juvenile earthworms with no deep burrowing anisic worms present. Now, we would typically expect an arable to have at least 9 or more earthworms to have a good level, and not only comprising juveniles, but a good range of different adult species present too. So the Improving Earthworm Trials is looking at how we can improve the numbers. And we're doing this by establishing a trial looking at compost addition with or without a legume understory. That legume understory comprising of a mixture of different clover species as well as yellow trefoil. Now, our aim was to establish it in autumn 2023, but we had very wet conditions, so actually the field remained fallow for pretty much the whole year, and we didn't actually start those treatments until it had dried out and we could get on in July 2024. And that's when we split the field in half. Compost was applied to one half and not the other. And then we had 2 double tram lines of the legume understory treatment. We looked at the establishment of the legume understory in late August, and we saw that it established well, but only white clover had established, not the trefoil. We looked at clover nodulation, and we saw that the clover had nodulated on all the plants that we sampled, but nodulation was actually better from the plants that we sampled from the green compost treatment. And going forward into 2025, we're going to be looking at the establishment and performance of the winter wheat that is being drilled across these different treatments.
So this harvest 25 will be the first year we've actually got any harvest results to compound yield data. But it is largely set up as a worm trial, so we're set up to do worm analysis later on in the year after harvest and through the season to see what beneficial effects we're having on soil type, and seeing if the clover's had any effect from the compost in better nutrition from the compost, better nodulation on the understory. So it's all a bit of a learning curve. I've never really done a lot with understories before, so I'm interested to see what happens, what benefits or what learnings we can bring out of it.